Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Prashanti ma'am. So today we are going to see the topics from nutrition lesson. Okay, nutrition lesson. So for nutrition we have a caption like food supplying system. Food supplying system. Yes, ఫుడ్ సప్లయింగ్ సిస్టమ్. ఓకే, సో ఈ న్యూట్రిషన్లో ఈరోజు మనం 2 ఇంపార్టెంట్ టాపిక్స్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తున్నాను. సో లిజన్ కేర్ఫుల్లీ. సో న్యూట్రిషన్ లెసన్లో మనకు స్టార్టింగ్కి గుర్తొచ్చేది ఏంటంటే ఫోటోసింథసిస్. అవునా? సో ఫోటోసింథసిస్ మనకి మ్యాక్సిమం క్వశ్చన్స్ ఏమొస్తాయి? డెఫినేషన్ ఫర్ ఫోటోసింథసిస్. ఓకే, డెఫినేషన్ ఫర్ ఫోటోసింథసిస్ and its equation. So first we'll see the basic process, photosynthesis. Okay, so before that I am writing the equation. Along with me you also write in your notebooks. So photosynthesis, what is definition here? Plants containing, right? So what plant containing? Plants containing chlorophyll which build up complex organic substances from simple inorganic substances. Okay, simple inorganic substances. This is the basic equation of photosynthesis, right? So basic photosynthesis definition means plants containing chlorophyll which build up complex organic substances from simple inorganic substances. So this is the definition. So manam in detail, first you need to understand the definition. What is this definition? So plants containing chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is present only in plants. The chlorophyll is present only in plants. And what is the speciality of chlorophyll? It absorbs sunlight. It absorbs solar energy. Only chlorophyll is the pigment which is responsible for absorption of sunlight. That's why without chlorophyll plant can't able to prepare the food material. Only chlorophyll containing plants only can prepare the food material. So that's why plants containing chlorophyll which build up complex organic substances. What are these complex organic substances? These complex organic substances are nothing but glucose, starch, yes, proteins. Okay, so complex organic substances from simple inorganic substances. What are these inorganic substances? Inorganic substances means carbon dioxide, water. So these are the simple inorganic substances. So from the simple inorganic substances, so plant is preparing the complex organic substances like glucose, starch, proteins. Okay, so that's why it is known as photosynthesis. So for all this what it requires? So photosynthesis definition does not completed. So inorganic substances by using sunlight. Okay, by using sunlight. So this process is called photosynthesis. Okay, clear, right? So photosynthesis means all the plants which containing chlorophyll as a photosynthetic pigments and which is responsible for absorption of sunlight and which build up complex organic substances from simple inorganic substances by using sunlight as energy. Okay, as energy source. as energy source. Now you got that what are organic substances, what are inorganic substances. Inorganic substances means carbon dioxide and water, and organic substances will be glucose, starch, proteins, even fats also prepared by the plants. Okay, now all of you note down this. So next write the equation for this. Equation. So what is the equation and who proposed that equation? Okay, what is the equation and who proposed this equation? So photosynthesis equation was proposed by, for the first time after 200 years, C.B. Van Niel. C.B. Van Niel. He is the scientist who first time proposed the equation for photosynthesis. C.B. Van Niel. What is C.B. Van Niel's equation? So as we know that carbon dioxide, inorganic substances lo manam include chesina substances enti, one is carbon dioxide, another one is water, and it is forming the carbohydrates and oxygen and water. Okay, so this is the basic equation which is proposed by the C.B. Van Niel. Basic equation, till now we are using the same. So ఇప్పటి వరకు C.B. Van Niel propose చేసిన ఈ equation ని మనం follow అవుతున్నాం. After that another scientist who came forward and he modified this equation. That scientist name is Robert Hill. Okay, Robert Hill. So how he modified the equation, we will see now. So 6CO2, 12H2O, and then C6H12O6, 6O2 plus 6H2O. So in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll okay. So photosynthesis basic equation was proposed by C.B. Van Niel. So మనకు దీని గురించి వచ్చే క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటి, MCQ. ఓకే, సో MCQలో ఏంటంటే who proposed the basic equation for photosynthesis? So that is C.B. Van Niel. What is the C.B. Van Niel equation? Carbon dioxide plus H2O in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, carbohydrates, oxygen and water. And then Robert Hill who modified the equation. So that modified equation will be 6CO2, 12H2O and the same sunlight and chlorophyll. Okay, so this is the equation for photosynthesis. So C.B. Van Niel equation and Robert Hill equation. Now you got the definition for photosynthesis and also its equation, right? Okay, done. Next we'll go to the structure of chloroplast. Structure of chloroplast. Okay, so structure of chloroplast. In the structure of chloroplast structure, why? Because complete entire photosynthesis takes place in the cell organelle. That cell organelle is known as chloroplast. Okay, so chloroplast. So this chloroplast structure is very important. మనకి chloroplast structure నుంచి 1 mark questions MCQs కూడా వస్తాయి. So listen carefully here. Before going to the points, we'll see the diagram first. So chloroplast is the membranous structure. See these membranes, see these are the membranous structure. Okay, so in this membranous structures, how many membranes are there? 3 membranes. This is 1, 2 and the third membrane I am drawing. See here, this is the third membrane here, like this third membrane, and it forms as a stacked sac-like structures like this. Stack-like structures even here. So stack-like structures, it forms as a stack-like structures. So after that it also contains the liquid portion liquid portion, again we'll see one by one in the points. Okay, so these points you note down, and also we practice the diagram practice cheyandi, inka important points, key points underline cheskondi. So here it also contains lipid granules, starch grains, like this. Starch grains means all the food molecules which is prepared in the photosynthesis lo prepare aina glucose molecules anni kalpi starch molecule form avutundi. So starch molecules anni itla store avutayi anamata in the form of starch grains. And also it contains the loop of DNA. Simple diagram draw chesanu, meer inka neat ga kuda draw cheskondi. Only for explanation purpose I am drawing this diagram. So now we label the diagram. Okay, so these are the outer membranes. Outer membrane, and liquid portion, what I told, stroma, and this is starch grain. Okay, and these are lipid globules. So the stacked sac-like structures are known as granum, and the membranes are known as thylakoid membranes. Thylakoid membranes. Okay, so one by one we'll see. So how many membranes are present here? How many membranes? 3 membranes. So 3 membranous structures. It is 3 membranous structure. First one, as I told, 3 membranous structures. Tarvata third membrane ela form ayindi? Third membrane is formed as granum. Ela stacked sac-like structures. Okay, stacked sac-like structures is known as granum. So what is the function of granum? Granum is responsible for, see here I am writing, absorption. It will absorb the sunlight. That is the main function of granum. What is the main function of granum? Here it absorbs the sunlight, and that sunlight energy, solar energy, is useful for the preparing the food molecule. Is this sunlight energy or solar energy is useful for preparing the food molecules. Okay, then this is about the granum. Then very important, stroma. See, stroma is responsible for, what is the stroma? Liquid portion. This is liquid portion in the chloroplast. And this liquid portion is responsible for enzymatic reactions. Enzymatic reactions for the formation from glucose to starch. Okay, no? So stroma is responsible for enzymatic reactions, and in that eppudu jarugutayi enzymatic reactions. So when the glucose preparation, first it is involved in the preparing the glucose molecules, then it is going to involve for the conversion of glucose molecules. Ante oka simple glucose molecule aithe, so it will be monomer, but many glucose molecules, ante glucose molecules anni కలిపి ఇప్పుడు ఏం ఫామ్ అవుతుంది, ఒక కాంప్లెక్స్ స్టార్చ్ మాలిక్యూల్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది, సో ఈ ప్రాసెస్ అన్నీ జరగాలంటే ఎంజైమ్స్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఆ ఎంజైమాటిక్ రియాక్షన్స్ అన్నీ జరగాలంటే ఏమి అవసరం? స్ట్రోమా ఈజ్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ ద ఎంజైమాటిక్ రియాక్షన్స్. సో that is about the stroma. And then chlorophyll. So now we are going to see chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is a photosynthetic pigment. Photosynthetic pigment means which is responsible for absorbing the sunlight. సో ఇలాంటి క్లోరోఫిల్ పిగ్మెంట్స్ చాలా ఉంటాయి కంప్లీట్ ఈవెన్. సో ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది క్లోరోఫిల్ పిగ్మెంట్స్? క్లోరోఫిల్ పిగ్మెంట్స్ ఆర్ ప్రెజెంట్ ఇన్ ద గ్రానం. సో క్లోరోఫిల్ పిగ్మెంట్స్ ఆర్ ప్రెజెంట్ ఇన్ ద గ్రానం. So chlorophyll pigments are present in the granum. So this chlorophyll is two types. One is chlorophyll A, another one is chlorophyll B. Okay, chlorophyll A is blue green in color and chlorophyll B is yellow green in color. Okay, but chlorophyll, this all chlorophyll pigments are joined together and it forms as a light harvesting complex or photosynthetic unit. So we have another name, that is photosynthetic unit. So this is about the chloroplast structure. Yes students, listen carefully. Chloroplast is the photosynthetic cell organelle and it is present in the plants, the leaf part of the plant. And chloroplast, which is three membranous structure, completely it is three membranous structure. So outer membrane and inner membrane. So the third membrane is going to form as a stacked sac-like structures. The stacked sac-like structures group together and it forms as a granum. సో ఈ సాక్ లైక్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్ అంటే ఏంటి? బ్యాగ్ లాంటి చిన్న బ్యాగ్స్ అన్ని. సో చిన్న బ్యాగ్స్ అన్ని ఎట్లా ఫామ్ అయిపోయాయి? ఒక సాక్ లాగా ఫామ్ అయిపోయింది, దానికి ఒక స్టాక్ అటాచ్ అయింది. సో ఈ స్టాక్ దేంతో ఫామ్ అయింది? థైలకాయిడ్ మెంబ్రెయిన్స్. సో థైలకాయిడ్ మెంబ్రెయిన్స్, ఈ ట్యూబ్స్ అన్నీ ఏంటంటే థైలకాయిడ్ మెంబ్రెయిన్స్. ఈ థైలకాయిడ్ మెంబ్రెయిన్సే గ్రూప్ అయినప్పుడు వాటిని మనం గ్రానం అంటున్నాం అంతే. సో these thylakoid membranes are grouped together and it forms as a granum. So what is the main function of granum? It is responsible for absorption of the sunlight. And if you see in the internal structure, it contains a liquid portion. Is known as stroma. Stroma is responsible for enzymatic functions. ante enti? So first it is responsible for formation of glucose molecules, then from glucose molecules it is going to form as a starch molecules. Ante first glucose molecule form avutundi with the help of enzymes. After the glucose, it is going the glucose molecules all group together and it forms as a starch molecule. Okay, then so after that stroma, now we are going to see the pigments. What are the pigments are present in the chloroplast? Main pigments are chlorophyll pigments and these chlorophyll pigments are present in the granum. Chlorophyll pigments are present in the granum means here it is going to absorb the sunlight. సో ఇది ఒకటి కొంచెం డ్రా చేసుకోండి, మీకు హెల్ప్ అవుతుంది నెక్స్ట్ మెకానిజం ఆఫ్ ఫోటోసింథసిస్లో. సో క్లోరోఫిల్, వాట్ ఆర్ ద టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ క్లోరోఫిల్? క్లోరోఫిల్ ఏ అండ్ క్లోరోఫిల్ బి. సో కలర్స్ చూస్తే క్లోరోఫిల్ ఏ ఈజ్ బ్లూ గ్రీన్ ఇన్ కలర్, క్లోరోఫిల్ బి ఈజ్ ఎల్లో గ్రీన్ ఇన్ కలర్, blue green in color. So this chlorophyll pigments, how many are there? This chlorophyll pigments number is around 250 to 400. So 250 to 400 chlorophyll pigments are joined together, grouped together. It forms as a light harvesting complex. So chlorophylls are going to, how many chlorophylls? 250 to 400 pigments are grouped together and it forms as a light harvesting complex. Okay, so after that we are going to see the entire chloroplast structure. So see this diagram and note down these points. So maniki ikkada questions emem vastayi chloroplast nunchi, either 4 marks structure of chloroplast and then second. So questions, it will be granum and then chloroplast, and third one stroma. What is the function of stroma, or what is the function of stroma? Stroma is responsible for enzymatic reactions. It is responsible for enzymatic reactions. Okay, okay students, so this is the today's class. I hope you all understand the class. అందరికీ అర్థమైంది అనుకుంటున్నాను. ఒకవేళ మీకు అర్థమైనట్టయితే సో డెఫినెట్గా వీడియోని లైక్ చేయండి, షేర్ చేయండి అండ్ నా ఛానల్ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ.